Friends, at some point in your life, you must have wondered, why do some people become so successful that their names are written in history while others, despite working hard their entire lives, remain just average? Why do some people create fortunes worth millions while others living on the same earth and breathing the same air remain trapped in poverty and struggle? The answer to this question was discovered almost 100 years ago by a man named Napoleon Hill. His book, Think and Grow Rich, is one of the most widely read motivational and self-improvement books in the world. But this book is not just about making money, it's about mastering the art of changing the way you think. Napoleon Hill was not born into a rich or powerful family. He came from a small village where there were no special opportunities, no clear path to success. But inside him burned one thing: the fire to ask questions. He wanted to know what makes a person great. That very curiosity led him to the biggest opportunity of his life, to meet Andrew Carnegie. Carnegie was one of the richest men in the world at that time. When Hill met him, Carnegie said, "If I give you a mission to spend the next 20 years studying the most successful people in the world and finding out the real roots of success, will you do it?" Hill immediately said, "Yes." Carnegie didn't give him money or a book, only a direction. Following that direction, Napoleon Hill went on to interview more than 500 successful people, including Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, Theodore Roosevelt, and many others. He asked each of them one question: what is the secret of your success? And after studying all their stories, Hill discovered one common pattern: the power of thought. Hill realized that a person's mind is his greatest asset. If you can control your thoughts, you can shape your future the way you want. That's the real meaning of think and grow rich. First think, then grow rich. And this richness is not just about money, it's about mindset, confidence, and vision. Napoleon Hill said that every great achievement begins as a single idea. No success happens suddenly, it starts quietly in the mind. Just as a seed is planted in the soil before it becomes a tree, every dream and every goal is first planted in our thoughts and then turns into reality through our actions. Many people blame fate for their failures, saying, I wasn't lucky enough. But Hill said there's no such thing as luck. Luck only comes to those who prepare themselves to deserve it. The person who thinks I can always does it. The one who thinks I can't always stops. That's the difference in thinking, the wall that separates the rich from the poor. In his book, Hill wrote that desire, or burning desire, is the first and most essential step. Without a deep, powerful desire, a person gives up halfway. Desire is the fire that fuels dreams. But this desire must not just stay in your mind, it should burn so intensely that it shakes every nerve inside you. Hill said, and if you desire your goal as strongly as a drowning man desires air, success will come to you. That's the soul of this book. It teaches that knowledge alone is not enough, and faith and imagination are the true forces that change life. He explained that our thoughts are a form of energy. When we repeatedly think about something, we start attracting it toward us. That's the foundation of the law of attraction. The person who mentally lives his goal every day moves closer to it. Hill wrote one line that shook the world and inspired millions. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. In other words, whatever the mind can imagine and truly believe in, it can make real. He gave countless examples of how the poorest people turned their thoughts into wealth, how failures were turned into victories, and how those who conquered fear went on to change the world. But friends, Think and Grow Rich is not a fantasy book that just shows dreams. It takes you deep inside your mindset of the place where your thoughts are born. It teaches you that if you can learn to direct your thoughts properly, no power in the world can stop you. Hill also said that faith is the greatest power of all. But this faith shouldn't be blind. It should be a faith so strong that it destroys every fear within you. When you truly believe that you can, your subconscious mind starts working in that direction automatically. he revealed that every thought, emotion, and belief we hold shapes our future. Those who believe in themselves create opportunities. Those who fear lose them. Hill also emphasized the power of persistence. Every big dream seems impossible until someone achieves it. When Thomas Edison invented the bulb, he failed thousands of times, but he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the spirit that builds success. Friends, when Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich, he didn't just write a book. He rewired the entire system of human thinking. He revealed that the world's richest people, the most successful individuals, and the most influential leaders were not created by magic or luck. They reached that level because they refined their thinking so deeply that the boundary between imagination and reality disappeared. He showed that success is not some mysterious gift. It's a mental process, one that every human being can start within themselves. Hill said that every person has two kinds of powers, and one visible and one invisible. The visible power is hard work, effort, and persistence. But the invisible power, thought, belief, and imagination is the real engine that lifts a person upward. Many people work hard but fail to move ahead because their thinking is weak. Others, with the same or even less effort, create wonders with the power of their mind. That's the greatest message of Think and Grow Rich. You become exactly what you think about. Napoleon Hill repeatedly emphasized that thoughts are not just floating ideas, they are living forces. When we think of something with absolute conviction, that thought begins to shape the direction of our life. He said that the human mind works like a magnet. The thoughts we think over and over again attract matching experiences into our reality. If we constantly think about fear, lack, and failure, those same things begin to show up in our lives. But if we focus on belief, success, and abundance, the universe starts opening doors for us in that direction. In this book, Hill explored deeply the power of the subconscious mind. He described it as our internal server that treats every thought as a command. If you keep telling your mind, "I can't do it," your subconscious accepts it as truth and blocks your path. But if you constantly tell it, "I can do it, I am worthy, I'm attracting success," then gradually your subconscious starts creating the pathways to make those things real. That's why Hill said, "You are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul." He explained that everything in life is first created in the mind and only then in the outer world. Just as a building first takes shape in an engineer's imagination, then on paper, and finally with bricks and cement, the same way every dream begins as a vision in your mind before it becomes real. Napoleon Hill said, "But you cannot bring your dream to life until you can see it and feel it clearly within you." He also described imagination as the greatest asset of humankind. Every great discovery, every invention, every revolution was once a simple idea in someone's mind. Edison first saw the light bulb in his imagination. The Wright brothers first saw themselves flying before they ever built a plane. Henry Ford first imagined the automobile before it became real. If these people had dismissed their ideas as foolish, the world we live in today would look entirely different. Hill's message was clear: those who believe in their dreams are the ones who change the world. But friends, Hill also accepted that with imagination comes the biggest obstacle: fear. Fear is the wall that stands between you and your destiny. The fear of failure, the fear of criticism, the fear of poverty, the fear of rejection. These fears chain us from within. Hill said that once you conquer your fears, life becomes an open book, because fear always lies. It tells you that you can't, when in truth, you can achieve anything your mind truly decides to. Hill's next great principle was persistence. He said that success will never come to you until you are ready to say, "No matter what happens, I will not give up." Every great person in history has faced failure at some point. The difference was they didn't treat failure as the end. They saw it as a lesson. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before creating the light bulb, but each time he smiled and said, "I have not failed. I've just found another way that doesn't work." That mindset, that refusal to quit, is the true mark of success. Napoleon Hill also said that those who fear failure can never taste success. Failure is the soil from which the seed of success grows. If you're afraid to fall, you'll never learn to walk. If you fear stumbling, you'll never reach your destination. But if you see every fall as part of your learning, every step, no matter how small, will move you closer to your goal. Another deep message in this book is the concept of the mastermind alliance. Hill said that a single mind has limits, but when two or more minds come together with a shared vision, their combined mental energy multiplies many times over. That's why behind every successful person, there's always a team, a mastermind group that inspires, supports, corrects, and strengthens the vision.